Hi, Richard.
Hi, Pete. How you doing?
What is the technology? How did it come about, and where's it sort of gone so far?
It's an automated talent identification platform. So what players can do is they come into the platform, upload videos specific trials that we run, and it all gets automated, scored and analysed, and that gets benchmarked against the academy we're working with. So in Burnley's case, it gets benchmarked against the known standards from Burnley's academy. So we can actually identify talent that will suit Burnley and suit John Pepper's team in different age groups. That automated process is a first, really. Our founder, Darren Perez, his son was released from the Tottenham Hotspur Academy. As is the situation for lots of players that are released, is actually other academies start to get some interest, and they wanted some information. They went to Darren and asked for some information on his son, any game footage, what's his stats like, 10-metre sprint times, this type of stuff. And he had none of it at all. And he was quite surprised when he looked into the amateur world that for professional football being so data-driven, in the amateur world there was nothing. And that kind of spiked his interest. So how can we let more players have access to that talent ID knowledge? And really, we come to the mobile phone because more people have a mobile phone than anything else. Rather than asking players to go out and spend thousands of pounds on a wearable that goes onto a boot or onto your clothing, they have the phone already. So what can we do with that? And that's really where it all started.
Like making a personal CV almost.
Yeah, you're exactly right. It's that football CV, that football passport type idea, definitely. So the opportunity to be seen is not always even for everybody. So sometimes you've got to already be playing for the right amateur club or at the right school or even the right part of the world. We're already seeing kids in Canada clearing 8 meters of snow just to be able to get themselves entered. Player in India putting rocks down instead of cones because that's all he's got to be able to do his dribble trial. So the reach is phenomenal. And for the first time, they now know professional club scouting system is looking at them without the scout having to go find them. So that opportunity just gets broadened. And now the player knows that this is me as a football player, and where do I fit?
What skills and what techniques are you looking for?
We've got something called the game intelligence model, which looks at the 360 approach of a player. So all the physical stuff, so how fast they are, how powerful they are, how high they jump, their coordination, things like this. We've got all the technical stuff as well, so their dribble ability, their first touch, their shooting, their passing, their heading. There's even psychometric and cognitive stuff as well, so looking at their grit and their determination, for example. So we can measure all of those, so we make sure we measure the right things to make sure we get Burnley the right player in the first place. We've already found 11 players that tick the boxes. Now, that could grow or it could reduce with the next set of trials, but right now it's like we've been blown away with the uptake, and actually the talent is out there.
Do you think that this is the future of scouting as such? I mean, there'll always be, the experience of an old scout sitting in the back of the stand, which we know all about, and watching games.
It's not replacing the traditional side of scouting, but certainly is complementing it, because we've seen it in the pro game, that data-driven world, to have that technical approach to amateur scouting along and combined with your traditional side of things is only going to make you more successful and get you better results. We're providing a massive filter. So we're getting to more people than the traditional scouting can't do. So we can filter them down, and then it's up to John Pepper and his team to go, okay, these are the ones filtered through. Now let's have a look at those. So they're maximising their time better, but certainly both approaches marry together for sure.
A young player comes here one day and ends up signing A, scholarship contract, and then B, hopefully a professional contract one day. That would be the ultimate vindication of the system, would it?
Absolutely, yeah. Obviously, a lot of people talk about AI and they don't really see how the AI works. And we've talked a little bit about the fact that the AI helps us with the tracking of the player, to score the player and to score the metrics we're looking at to say this is a talented player. But the AI and the data is also going to learn from where the players end up journeying to in their career. The AI gets stronger and more able to identify talent. The more of those results we get, the more of those players that make it to Burnley or get released or whatever it's going to be, it's all going to be information that's going to help more players get identified correctly.
People are becoming increasingly aware of this opportunity. What's the process of joining and getting their skills out there?
Really simple process. So download it. It's a free app. Do their profile, so fill out like their name and who they are. And what they'll first do is something called our NRS trials, which is the national rating score. So there are 5 trials that give them a physical score, which then basically unlocks the Burnley trials for them. And in terms of the videos they've got to do, it's very clear in there. It will give them a video instruction. So know exactly what to do, whether they get their dad or their mum to record it, their friend, it doesn't matter, tripod, just record it on the phone and all the instructions will be there for them.
And I'm right in saying this is the first in terms of linking up directly with a Premier League club, isn't it?
Yeah, Burnley are the first to launch a global trial. So to open up that trial process and say, hey, if you're out there, come find us on Aiscout, enter our trials, and we're looking at this data right now.